Greetings. This is the Uchara practice video. This is yukti number 13 of the Vijñāna-bhairava-tantra, but as I mentioned in the other video, it's also a foundational practice of tantric yoga across the board, and I mean in all lineages, in all sampradayas of tantric yoga, we find this practice as a foundational practice. Starting to lose the light here, but that's okay because you'll have your eyes closed most of the time, I hope. Before I get into the practice, let me just mention, because I forgot to mention it last time, that we're about to do a really cool special offer of courses from the Sutra project in the group, and so I hope you take note of that. That's the word from your sponsor. And now let's do the practice. So let's be clear about the use of bandhas. They're optional, but they really do enhance the practice quite a lot. So if you want to use the bandhas, you're going to do mula bandha at the end of the inhale, even if that's different from what you've been taught in other contexts, doesn't matter. Mula bandha at the end of inhale on the brief pause, and you maintain it for the whole exhale if comfortable. You shouldn't be focused on your pelvic floor in this practice. Your focus point needs to rise with the mantra. So if you find that trying to hold mula bandha means you're focused on the pelvic floor, please do not do it. Okay, but if you can do it without any attention there, then great. But at least do mula bandha at the end of the inhale. So you finish the inhale, mula bandha, breath pause, and then initiate the exhale, and mula bandha can relax unless it's easy for you to hold it. And if it is, hold it all the way to the end of the exhale, and then apply Uddiyana bandha only on the exhale pause. So when you're up here, when your focal point's up here, in the pause after the exhale, before you breathe in, that's when you apply Uddiyana bandha. Now, if you kind of enunciate the mantra to the last possible gasp, as it were, with the last tiny bit of your breath, then you're not going to be able to pause comfortably. You'll be in panic mode in the pause. So don't use every last bit of your breath in enunciating the mantra. Just save a tiny, tiny bit, just so that you can pause up here comfortably, because the exhale pause at the Dwadashanta is the most important moment of the practice. It's a moment of complete surrender, complete stillness, complete opening, complete transcendence in a way. Okay. So when you do this practice at home, right, because you're learning it with the video, but you need to, get off the dependence on the video as soon as reasonably can. And when you do this practice at home, you're going to need a drone, because Uchara works much better with a drone support. So a tanpura or tambura recording, it's easy now, because on YouTube you can just type in tanpura in C, the key of C, and on Spotify you can search for the track Eternal Tanpura. And so both of these on YouTube and on Spotify, they're hour-long tracks. Not that you should do Uchara that long, but you don't have to worry about it going to another YouTube video all of a sudden. That's not ideal. So I don't know if you can see that. Is it? There we go. Yeah. So Eternal Tanpura by Mantra Live. Don't know who they are, but it's nice that they have this. So you need a drone for your voice to melt into, and it allows the practice to go much, much deeper if your voice is riding on the support of that drone. So this is the key of C. Now, for the practice video, let's just do Uchara with Om, O-M, because that's what everybody knows. But in tantric yoga, we don't practice with Om usually. We practice with Aum or Haum. So that AUM spelling that you've seen here and there for Om, that's only in Uchara. And that's another interesting thing. The very spelling of Om as AUM only exists because of the Uchara practice. And that way of pronouncing Om is only to be done in Uchara. You don't say Aum except in Uchara. You don't say it with Aum Namah Shivaya. No. Always there's the exception if you have a guru and you and they're that's how they teach it and you think they're a realized being, then just do whatever they said. But in general, Aum or Haum is only for Uchara practice. Okay. And in your home practice, please feel free to work with Hreem or Aim or any goddess bija. You might want to exercise some discernment in which bija you choose. For example, Hum, associated with Bhairava, is thought to be an intense mantra that invokes kind of fierce grace or intense energy. So if you don't want intense energy, if you want a kind of sweeter vibe, then Hreem is better, or Haum. So we'll do it with Om a few times, and then we can do some of the other bijas as well. Okay, I wasn't supposed to talk so much in this video, but there you go. Okay. If you wish, you can place one heel at the pelvic floor. For some people, that helps them do the practice more effectively, and it keeps the energy focused in the central channel. So if you like, you place the heel at the pelvic floor or at the vaginal opening if you're female-bodied. You place the one heel there. Optional. And take a couple deep breaths. Get in the mood. And you're going to relax your jaw. Relax the muscles of the face, head, and neck. And when you inhale, bring the prana all the way down to the pelvic floor, gentle mula bandha, and then begin the uchara. We'll continue in that way together. And really, it doesn't matter if your eyes are open or closed, as long as you're not paying attention to the visual field. It doesn't matter. Stay focused internally, and remember, if it's helpful to imagine a point of light rising with the mantra, then do that. And if it's not helpful, then don't do that. For that matter, if it's helpful to actually use your hand to track the rise of the mantra with a simple mudra, you can do that if you like, and not if it's not helpful. So again, with Om. Om. And now Haum. The H in Haum is almost silent, so it in fact sounds like Aum. 3 repetitions. Cream. 3 repetitions. Om. So you really only need to watch this video a couple times and then away you go. The practice. I just want to mention one other important detail. If you're working with any bija other than Om, then you need to be aware of which phoneme, which sound starts where in the central channel rise of the mantra. So with Haum, for example, the part is from the pelvic floor to about the navel, and then the part starts, the and then the u starts at the heart, and then the nasal, obviously, as always, is at the nasal cavity. So the u in Haum starts at the heart. In Hreem, the H, again, is between the pelvic floor and the navel. The R starts at the heart. R is a phoneme that's associated with fire. So you can think of the digestive fire. The R starts at the navel. And the E in Hreem starts at the heart, right? So whatever the main vowel is, that starts at the heart. So ing, and then the nasal, of course, as always, in the nasal region. And that's all you need to know. So for those who are interested in the technical details, I'll do a post about the 6 levels of inaudible sound. And there's the whole sound can be analyzed in 9 levels or 11 levels or 12 levels, and ultimately it really doesn't matter. It's just important to pay attention to the incredibly subtle and ever subtler inaudible resonance of the mantra as it rises from third eye to Dwadashanta, and you'll find your way with it. This is a powerful practice. It is a practice that is transcendent in character, so that means it's important to do grounding practices afterwards, especially if you're prone to vata exacerbation or just becoming ungrounded. So this, if you have any tendency to become what we call a bliss bunny, this is the practice that's going to make you into a bliss bunny. Which is great, but then you need to be able to come back down to earth and ground. You don't have to leave the bliss behind, just bring that bliss with you and come all the way down to earth with it. Otherwise, you'll find that the practice can put you in an expanded transcendental kind of place in which perhaps the details of everyday life get neglected if you're not careful. So it's fine. In Tantric Yoga, we do go to a transcendent, expanded place, but then we want to bring that energy all the way down to earth, and that's where we land. So it's the opposite of, Patanjalian yoga, where it's like you're seeking to go up and out and stay there. Here we touch into the transcendent and then bring that experience all the way down to earth. If you're not doing that part, you're not doing Tantric Yoga. Okay, any questions? Doesn't look like it. Maybe they're just not showing up for some reason. That's our practice video. I can answer questions afterwards in the comment section. Grounding practices, there's many. Even just a simple prana bath can be a great grounding practice. Rubbing your hands together, getting some heat, and then like touching all the parts of your body, rubbing those hands over all the areas of the body, that's a simple grounding practice. Inhaling earth energy up into the khanda region, the low belly, the dantian, that's a great practice. Sitting on the earth, inhaling earth energy. You don't have to sit on the earth, it just is nice. Anything that brings you back into the body, massaging your own feet, right? Abhyanga with your own feet, really squeezing them, right? And bringing attention to the lower body. All of that's good. And so you always, whenever you're doing a transcendental practice, you always end the practice back down in the belly, in the abdomen, in the pelvic floor, in the legs, and the feet. Super important, really. Do not take that advice lightly. Okay. Nice to be with you all. Om.